So let's say a friend of yours has a land, and in this land he has, you know, made some turfs over there for cricket, football. You might have seen people go to play cricket on the turf. Yes. So he has made a turf. So here people can come, and he has made a cricket turf, and he also has a football turf. Okay. And he also has a tennis turf. Okay, tennis turf comparatively will take lesser space. Tennis turf. Okay. Now all the booking which he has been taking all this while is all manual. People would call on his number and would book the slot. Now he approaches you and he says, I want to make a software. I want to make a mobile software, let's say, and I will give the user the interface, and the user will then choose. Okay, so this is the mobile software he wants. Then he will say, we'll ask the user to enter name. Okay, then date, time. Okay, and then he will choose which type of turf he wants to book. Correct? So you will be having like this text boxes. So in the turf, would you want him to enter the turf type, or would you rather give him a list of options of the turfs which you are having? So you better give him a drop down box. Correct? And once he opens the drop down box, you can show him the options of the turf which you have. Okay, so as of now we have which one? Cricket, football, and tennis. As of now we can show him these three options. And then when he will click on submit, let's say, then we will get this inquiry on our database in a backend. Okay, so now is it guaranteed that the customer will always choose cricket? Yes, yes, no, maybe. Not sure, right? So I cannot assume that okay, it's in India, so mostly inquiry will come for cricket only. So I cannot assume that. No? So how do I plan this software? So what we do is in the architecture design, while designing the architecture, we make a interface first. What we make? Interface turf. Okay. And let's say each turf has its own pricing. If you book for cricket, it's 700 rupees per hour. If you book for football, let's say it is for 1000 rupees per hour. And if you book, you all can put your mic on mute. You have to say anything, you can unmute it. And if it is a tennis turf, it is for 1500 per hour. Okay. So I'll make an interface over here, and I will write a function over there, double turf price. Okay, or whatever you want to say, hourly price. So now here I have an interface which has how many abstract methods as of now? One. And the number of classes which are there. So the number of classes which are there, we can have for each we can have an implementation. So we can have class cricket turf implements turf. Now what is the responsibility of cricket turf? Okay, so we have to implement this method. So while implementation you have to give public over here because it is a class, right? Because the default of the class is different. And turf, okay. I'll just write in short over here. And this, what will it return then? 700. Okay. So likewise, we will have this for all the three business services which I am providing. Okay. So the real case scenario of usage of interface. So what is the football turf charging? 1,000. So each class will have its own implementation, right? So the interface just defines the functionalities, and whichever class is implementing the interface can implement it as per its own business logic, right? So now how much for this? 1,500. Okay. So now what we can have is to manage all this stuff. Okay, so the main will have only one single point of contact. Main will not run after everyone. Main method, the driver app, will have one single point of contact. Okay, so main always has one single point of contact. Okay, so let's say main has the turf manager. So which class does main is contacting with? Yes, main will have one single point of contact, class turf manager. So whenever main wants any turf, main will contact which class? Turf manager. And then the turf manager responsibility will be there to get main the turf which it wants. Okay. Okay, let's break it down and then let's start to code it slowly, then things will fall into place. So we are into day 18 abstraction. Okay, so let's on this only let's add day 19 abstraction turf management. Okay, so first what will we make? The interface by what name? Tough. What will this interface have? Just an abstract method. Double get hourly price. Okay. And then we'll have the number of businesses which I have currently. I am just having cricket tough. What does it do? Implements. Now I have to override the method, and so I have to give my own implementation to this. So cricket tough hourly rate is 700. So like this, I can copy this and I can say football tough. What does it do? And I will say 1,000. Okay. And here also, then we can say one more class. Okay. Now we'll go and make the driver app. Let's say hold on the manager for the for a second, and then we'll see. So in this, what all will we ask the user? First, we'll take a scanner. We will take input from him, the user, right? Okay. So what will I ask first from the user? Is enter your name. So name he will enter. So I will say string customer sc dot next. Then please enter date. Okay. So let's take date of play. Okay. What date he is coming to play. Okay. Not date of booking. Enter time. Okay. So we'll say time of play. Let's take them as string as of now. And then next what? You have to ask him to choose from a list of. Okay. So what we will do is we will show him the menu. Okay. Tough choices. Okay. So we'll show him the tough options to choose from. So we can say 1, 2, 3. One, if you want to play cricket, and two, if you want to play football, and three, if you want to play tennis. Tennis. And then we'll ask him to enter choice. So he will enter, let's say, 1 means he wants to play cricket. Turf choice equals to sc dot next in. Correct? Now we will ask the turf manager to allot us this choice. Correct? So now see this. This is what is a bit bit slippery. So pay attention. So now we will have a class called as what? Turf manager. Okay, now try to understand this now. This turf manager will have a static method. Will have which method? Static method means no need to create the object of this class. We can call this method directly, right? Okay, and that function would be get turf. What would the function? And what would I pass to it? One integer. That would be turf choice. Okay. So I will come over here now. This is not completed. I'm just telling you all, I'm just giving you all an overview. So when I come to the driver app, what will I do of this turf manager? I will call which function? Dot get turf, right? And what will I pass to it? Turf choice. Okay. Now, irrespective whatever choice I pass, I cannot hard code that it will always be cricket. Maybe 90% will be cricket, but I'm not guaranteed it will be cricket always. I cannot take it for granted. So see what this turf, but irrespective whether it is cricket, football, cricket turf, football turf or tennis turf, it will be of type turf because the parent is the same. But that I can guarantee that whatever the turf manager will give me, the parent of that will always be turf, right? Right? Parent will always be turf, that is guaranteed. So this function says I will return a type turf. I'll return a type turf. Okay. So we will make the reference of turf over here. Okay. So you cannot instantiate a abstract class and what do you say? Interface and abstract class. You can just make the reference. You cannot make the object. Can we make an object of abstract class? So similarly, why? Because it contains abstract method, correct? So similar terms, can I make an object of interface? No, because it contains abstract methods. So I have just made a reference of it right now. Just made a reference, okay? And now, depending on the choice which the user has made, so I will switch this choice. Understand this, okay? So if the user has made one means which sport he wants to play. So if it is case one, then we will say turf equals to new cricket. So cricket class can be instantiated, right? Okay, and then we can break new cricket turf, right? Cricket turf. Okay, so this turf, which I guess is not initialized, I guess. Okay, where are we writing this into a static method? And static method can only access outside static data, right? So it's telling, so the error, if you hover the mouse over there, so read the error. What it is telling? Cannot make static reference to a non-static field. So this has to be static. Break. And if he enters 2, then he wants to play what? Football tough, correct? And if he wants to play 3, then tennis take. Okay, and once the switch closes, we will say return the turf. Return the turf. Okay, so now to this driver app will tell this manager that I will pass you the turf choice. Your job is to get me the turf. So it will just get the turf over here because it is returning a turf. So now when I have to display, let's say I'm printing the details, okay? And I'm printing the bill for the customer now. Okay, let's say I'm printing the bill for the customer. So I will list out customer name. Okay, and what will be the customer name? We have taken the variable over top, right? Customer name and play date. Date when is going to come and play, okay? Not booking date. Date of play and play time. Time of play and now which turf has he booked? Which turf has he booked now? Yes, guys. Which turf has he booked? So whatever turf he has booked, let's say if he has entered one over here, and he say enter choice, what did he enter? One. So one came in which variable? Then I've sent this turf choice to the static method. Directly I've called it with the help of the class name. So it comes to this manager and instead over here. So what has come in turf choice? Turf choice is having one as of now. And then I switch that turf choice. So case one, what is it going to return me? New cricket, new cricket turf. So this is going to return me a new cricket turf. Okay, and that I have taken over here in the driver app. So where is this turf pointing to now? Which class object? So this is PP new C, right? With overriding, with overriding, correct? So when I want to call the method now, get hourly price, it will call of which one? Method belongs to the objects. Object is of which class over here? Cricket class. Cricket class, right? So when I say, so now when I say turf type, I can directly say what? Turf dot get hourly price. So whatever turf he has chosen, it will display the hourly price of that. Let's check it out if it's working fine. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, so let's say Alice. Alice wants to come and play tomorrow, 27 May 2025. Time she wants to come at this time, 8 a.m. And now we have given the choices to Alice. Alice wants to play football, so we'll say 2. Okay, and what will we say? Name Alice. This date, this time. How much are we charging her? 1,000. If let's say some next person wants to come, Ben. Okay, Ben wants to come on 28 May at 11 a.m. and Ben wants to play tennis. So how much will we charge him? 1500. Okay, I also want to show him which turf he has booked. So I want to also show him turf type also. Now what to do? So what we can do is we can put that over here. String get turf name. Which function? Now as this function is there in the interface, right? The moment I save this interface, you will see red dots. Why? Because when a class says it implements an interface, it has to override all the function or else it has to become static, right? So which function is left to be overridden now? So how do I check that? Give a control space bar. Will give you list of options. Okay, and here you can return the name of the turf. So click it. Okay, so just you can return. So every class will implement it as per its own. So just copy it. So football will implement it. Football turf. So now your code should be let the number of classes increase. That is not a concern, but your code should be manageable and scalable. Save. Now everything goes good. And now if I also want to now tell the which turf he has booked, so directly I can search. Okay, this was turf type, right? So I can say what? So I can just copy this line and paste it over here. So turf type was turf dot get turf name and price. Okay, this was price. So now if I save and if I run, okay, now let's some Indian has come, Rajesh, and he wants to book it for 29 May 2025 at 11 a.m. and he wants to play cricket one. So see, Rajesh and cricket turf price 700 rupees. Making sense? The way we use interfaces. So we don't put all the data into one class. In real time applications, you have to make the application scalable. So you segregate the code across separate classes. So don't dump all the code into one class. Make it into separate classes. So we have a design principle called as solid principle. Called as what? Yeah, solid is an abbreviation for SOLID. So S stands for single responsibility principle. S stands for, yes, means one class should have only one reason to be modified. One class should have only, yeah, yeah, there should be only one reason responsibility principle. So one class should have only one reason to be modified. So now, if I would have dumped all the code onto the driver app, everything, okay, if I would have done the coding like this, okay, so turf old version, okay, so I could have managed this like this also. So I could have done this entire stuff in one single class also, like this. See, okay, so it I would say enter the date, turf, and choose the turf options, and I get the turf option over here. I didn't have this class, right? So I would switch over here only for turf choice. And then I would say if it is case 1, we will say I would have taken strings over here then. String turf name, turf type, and string and double turf price. Okay. And if you are taking a local variable, you have to initialize it. Okay. Always local variable has to be initialized. Okay. So if you would enter case 1, I would say what? What is the turf type? Cricket. And what would be the price? Okay. So I'm dumping everything into one single class and break. Okay. So if this also is one of the solution, but what is the limitation of this solution I will discuss, as we have given this from a drop down list, right? So user will enter, I will choose from the list which we give, right? So no need to give default. And here what will we say? If it is option 2, football turf and 1000 rupees. And here tennis turf and price is 1500. Okay. Alt Shift F, Control Shift F for format. Control Shift F will format your code. And then to display the bill, turf type is turf type, turf price. See, this also will work perfectly fine, just as fine as this. See, yeah. David wants to come and play tomorrow, 11 a.m. Wants to play tennis. Correct? So why was the need to write such different interfaces and classes when everything could have been ordered into one single place? First limitation, you don't burden main with business logic. First, now what are the limitations of this style of programming? First, main is burdened with business logic, which is not a good idea. Okay. Now, if any business module changes, let's say he is increasing the price, okay, after let's say 2 years, 100 rupees increases for all the turfs. How much? How many? The price increases to how much? 800. Okay, he increases it by 100 rupees. So if he increases the price of cricket turf, main will change. You have to modify main, correct? Okay. If he changes the price of football turf, main will change. So if he changes anything, if he okay now he has also added, let's say, skating turf. Okay, he also added skating turf over there. A skating ring he has made. So whenever new business gets added, what will change? Main will change. Correct. So this is violating the single responsibility principle. Single responsibility principle dictates that one class should have only one reason to be modified. If so, that's why we use this style. So if later on if he adds the skating turf, what we can do is Make a new class, say what? Skating turf, and then choose the interface which you wish to override. So click over here. Okay, you can add. So choose from here turf. Yes, and as you say finish, it will prepare the template for you. Just you have to populate the data and return skating turf. Okay, and now here just go to the manager and tell the manager that we have added new business. If any request comes for skating turf, take that order also. So this makes your code more manageable. Now I have not touched my main. Have I touched my main? Okay, we have to show the UI no to the customer. Main is showing the UI no in our case. So we have to tell this, we have to upgrade our UI and inform the customer that we are also now supporting. So if whenever we add a business, we will just update the main with what turf we have added. Rest all the changes will be over there. So if now cricket price increases to 100 rupees, I will just go and change which class. That's all. So this is what single responsibility principle. One class should have only to be modified. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now if I want to print this bill, I'm printing this over here. So what we can do is we can put this also into a new class. Okay. And make a function over there. Okay. Paste this over there, and then we'll have to pass all those details to the print bill function. Okay. So no need to instantiate this. So we can make it into a static function. It is just printing the data, no? So public static. So so I go to the driver app and do what? Print bill dot print bill, and whatever data I need to print, I can pass it over here. So first I'll pass what? The turf, and then next what I can pass? This customer name, date of play, and time of play. Correct? Customer name, date of play, and time of play. So I can take all this three and put it over here as parameter. This is the what type? Turf type. This is of string type, string, and double. So now whenever printing will, if I want to change anything in the printing, this will change. Else, now driver app, you know, turf string string double type, turf string string string. What is this? Turf time of play also is string, right? Yeah, time of play also is of. I thought that is a price. Okay, yeah, now it's good. So wherever possible, you can segregate and make separate class to do that task. Now the main is just taking the input from the user, that's all. Now let's run this and check if it's working fine. Let's book a skating turf. Working. Okay. So Frank comes and he wants to book a skating turf for tomorrow for 11 a.m. and he wants to book skating turf. So we'll say Frank this 11 a.m. skating turf. If now anything in the printing I want to change, how I want to print, okay. So we had learned the string format function, right? Correct. So if I want to write string dot format, okay, and then I want to say percentage s, that is a string, correct. And what were we displaying? Customer name, right? Percentage s colon and then percentage s, and here what will I display? Customer name as my first attribute, and second attribute will be what? The variable customer name, correct. And now I want to align this towards the left, so I'll say minus 15, and I want to align this towards the right, so I'll say 15. Yes or no? So if you want any changes in the display, let's say Raj has come for tomorrow 11 a.m. He wants to play cricket. So see, now the display is having, so whatever changes in the display, if you want to change, so same now, what we can do is string dot format. This is what? Date of play, correct? So I will just change what? Date of play, and I'll take the variable date of play. This is time of play. So I'll take the variable time of. This is turf type. This will be turf dot get turf name, and this is turf price will be turf dot get turf hourly. Okay, save. Now this is my driver app. Run from here. Okay, some girl has come to play Alice for tomorrow 3 p.m. She wants to do skating. See now, making sense. So if anything you change with regards to the display, then you just have to go and make changes in this class. Correct? So we'll put this also over here, string dot format. I'm missing on a bracket. So whatever. You got it? Where is the actual use? Now got the idea what is interface? Interface will just show you the list of functionalities. and it can act as a parent then. So irrespective whatever type of turf the user chooses, it will be of type turf only, parent type. So that's why we'll use the parent reference, and parent reference can point to any of the object, but the method belongs to the object. So whenever I will call the method, it will be of the object which was created, correct? So try to implement this and try to understand this scenario, okay? Then later on we have to study design patterns also. What we have to study? Solid principles, design patterns. These are very important things. So there is a very famous design pattern called as factory pattern. Called as what? Factory pattern. So what I just showed you is a small demo of factory pattern. So if you have a ad hoc interview, so I just had applied somewhere and suddenly I got a call, and if they ask you, did you implement any design pattern, you can say yes, I have implemented factory pattern. What did you implement? So you can say I made a tough application. In that I made the tough interface which had 3 4 implementation classes, and whenever the client, so factory means you tell the factory what you want and factory prepares and gives it to you, right? So what the manager is doing over here, this is the factory pattern. You are telling what you want and it is giving you the object of that class. So you give an integer, it gives you an object. You give the order, factory gives you the product, correct? So you give me an integer and I will give you an object based on that integer. So this is my factory over here. So this is the factory method. Okay. Is this making sense to you all?